I rarely pick up consumer electronic goodies based on their cuteness factor. How adorable are they? I generally look at the tech specs, and when it comes to a keyboard, things like the switches, are they hot swappable? How do the keycaps feel on the fingertips? How's the build quality? How long's the warranty? Things like that. Sure enough, we are going to be taking a look at all those aspects. However, can we just take a moment to smile like this guy? I think the last time I picked up a product to review strictly because it looked cute or adorable or precious was about 2.5 years ago with this controller popping up on screen. I was browsing for budget entry-level keyboards to review on the channel, and I came across this pink beauty from Yunzii, and upon shaking their hand over the interwebs, they were kind enough to send one out for a comprehensive in-depth review. So without further ado, let's get into that. As for the packaging and included accessories on the Yunzii C68, that is going to be the size, as it is a 65 or 68% keyboard. The catchphrase or slogan, which is on the inner box as well as the outer sleeve, is where artistry meets next level typing. I'm no artist, but I'm ready for the next level of typing. Excuse me. Your keyboard's going to be held in place by a couple of foam blocks and a little plastic sneeze guard to keep it free of dust and debris. Ugh, linears. And it can be kind of easy to miss, but there are two smaller boxes at the bottom. So laying out all the included accessories on the table, you actually get quite a darn bit for a budget or entry-level keyboard, as this can be had for $90, but there's actually a 10% coupon currently. I think what makes me the happiest here is going to be this large mouse pad, which isn't the size of like an XL mat or anything like that, but it is larger than your typical mouse pad. And then you get a quick start guide as well as a user manual that goes more in depth, and then two clearly labeled accessory boxes, which also have the little kitty meow meow on this side, a couple of keycaps in there. You're also going to have a 10-foot braided USB-C cable, no Velcro tie back, nor no dust covers on the USB-A or C end. You're also going to have a double duty tool, which will be a keycap puller as well as a switch puller. Then you've got a couple of example keycaps. Keep in mind, during the keycap section, we're going to take a deep look into the coloration, print, overall quality of these caps. And then you have a couple of example switches, which are linears, and we'll touch more on those during the switch section. I was a little confused what this apparatus was. It is very soft, supple little rubber block. And I do believe if you look at the bottom tuchus or rump of this keyboard, you do have these removable sections, and your dongle is actually in this one, and this little bad boy should pop, yup, right in there, like that. Nice. So if you are going to be using that dongle, you can replace this foot or stand. You have a slider or toggle in the back for your 3 modes of connectivity. I do not like that they're not labeled, so you don't know if this is Bluetooth and this is the dongle or what. You just kind of have to guess. And then of course you can go wired with the USB-C port in the back. The entire body is rubber or silicone. This you might think is hard plastic, but the entire body is covered in this soft, supple rubber, which is really cool. The keyboard itself is also freakishly heavy, weight popping up on screen here. This is a breakout or parts diagram of the internals or guts of this keyboard, and as you can see, it's built pretty gosh darn rugged. You got your sandwich foam, you got your underpad, you got your transparent film, and you got your socket foam and silicone cover, amongst other doodads and McRads. Also, I like the receiver or dongle is actually quite compact. It's not some big old stick of gum looking ass thing sticking off the front of your tower. And the instruction manual for this being a budget overseas keyboard is actually quite impressive. English is the primary language, good font. You have this quick start guide, which should get you up and running with everything you need, but if you need more information, that's what the actual manual's for. And like I mentioned a second ago, not only does it not suck, blow, or any such thing, but it actually is really good. Now, English is only the first 3 pages, and then it comes over here to these Chinese characters, but I am very impressed with the overall quality of this instruction manual. Also, you can remove that cat's head, but it looks like ass without it, because you have these 2 empty slots and then this little section right here, which is the track that slides onto it. I think it looks a lot better with the cat on, personally. That's the whole flavor of the keyboard, is this little guy. And it needs mention that this also comes in a second colorway, which is a brighter pink, which I think looks fantastic, but I chose this tan, as for me, it fit a little bit better. Getting uncomfortably close to these keycaps, they are anti-oil PBT MOA keycaps with vibrant south-facing RGB in the actual switches underneath them, which bleeds through in a very nice manner. I will say the stock keycaps look really nice as far as coloration, font. They also feel quite soft and supple on the fingertips. And you can switch these out, although with this design of keyboard, it being rubber and having the little kitty up top, these stock keycaps pretty much go perfectly with the theme, and I can't really think of any aftermarket options that would look better here. But they look fantastic, and if you're picking up this keyboard, you're probably going to rock the stalkers, which have this nice little half dome, which kind of cups your fingertip and does create a very ergonomic typing position, which you don't always get in a 65% keyboard, which is generally aimed more towards gaming. And speaking of which, if you are going to be doing more gaming with this keyboard than typing, I would leave in these linear switches. But if you are doing a lot more typing and productivity work, you might want to hot swap these switches for something either tactile or clicky. Just my personal opinion, but let's jump to the switches section to talk about those. The PCB of this keyboard does support hot swap compatibility. That is both 3 and 5 pin, which is fantastic. The stock joints are milk. That's right, just a cup of milk. It doesn't even say what series. Are we talking about Gatorons, Kales, Hibbity Bibbities, Doodaws, Flapjacks, Whistling Wankers? I mean, there's so many different brands out there. For all I know, these could have Razor tactile greens in them, but they don't. They're just milk, which are linear switches, so there is no tactile bump and no audible click. My least favorite of the 3 switch types. It's great in some kind of a hitbox or fight pad or arcade beat 'em up box, but as far as productivity typing, it is the last kind of switch that you want installed, at least in my personal opinion, that is. So you're going to take this egg beater looking ass side, just get it started around the keycap, pull up, and you are going to see your glasses of milk in there for your calcium. Delicious. You've got your skim in there, soy in the escape button, and whole milk in the space bar. If you thought the milk jokes have gone on long enough, good, because they're done. That's all I had for you. I did mention it earlier, but we can see it a little mo better right here. Those are south-facing RGBs. Why is this thing so shaky? I'm on a gimbal right now. Do your job and stabilize the shot. I moved a little mo further from my PC fan so we can get a nice quiet bass line or noise floor in here to get a little sound test or typing test. Yes, I'm not plugged into the PC typing an actual string of characters. Won't matter. Still going to sound like I'm typing. As per my last email, so since these are linear switches, if you're light-handed, you can actually stop before you bottom out at the bottom of the travel of your keystroke, making this a completely silent typing experience if you were to stop like that. Well, maybe not silent, but damn near. Spacebar's a little louder than I like, but it is stable as shit whether you press it on either side. Definitely even and stabilized. I'm gonna give the stock sound a 6 out of 10. Repeat, a 6 out of 10, which is not bad at all for a $90 pre-build. Time for a demo of the RGB lighting. There are gonna be 18 modes that you can swap through on the fly. You do not need a piece of software to do this, just holding down a combination of buttons on the keyboard. In the bottom right of the quick start placard is going to be your hotkeys for controlling the lights. So by holding down function and home, you will swap through the different modes. So I'm seeing a ton of rainbow modes scrolling through the RGB spectrum, but not a lot of solid colors or fading in and out of the spectrum. So in order to change between those sub modes is holding down function and backslash. Blue, orange, perp, teal, salmon, back to the rainbow spectrum, red, green. You're not blind, you can see what colors they are, but that's how you're going to swap between your colors. If you're trying to figure out where to get the software application, it's very difficult if you're on the Amazon listing page because it doesn't tell you the name. It's like fully programmable with a powerful driver. What's it called? The software, only compatible with Windows. That's fine, I'm on a Windows PC. What's the shit called? Multifunctional keyboard software. What's the name of it so I can download it? This custom software can only be used in Windows system, not in Mac OS. I won't use my Mac for it, I'll use my Windows. What's the name of it so I can download it? So what we're going to do is what any person with half a brain would do. We're going to do a Google search. Yunzii software. There we go. Yunzii keyboard software. Love it. Okay, this is a different model. Come down here to your model, C68, driver version, compatibility version. Yep. Pretty interesting that it's supported all the way back to Windows XP and 7. We're going to download it. Hopefully not get a virus. And I'm going to walk you through the software and see if it's a real sack of crap or if it's awesome and has a ton of control. So this isn't a zip file. I've tried double clicking it. I've tried right-clicking it, running as an administrator, and nothing is happening here. So I can't install the software suite. Sorry, I wanted to walk you through it. I really did. Interesting. So if you order from the website as opposed to Amazon, you do have a selection of switch types. You have cocoa cream with an early bottom. What that means is it has very short pre-travel, so you're going to bottom out or hit that wall pretty goddamn quickly. Then you have your caramel coffee, which is a muted, quiet linear switch. Then you got your milk linears, which I'm rocking in mine. And then you got your bare bone over here, which doesn't come with switches and keycaps. If you just want the base, the hot swappable PCB itself, and then you want to drop in your own goodies. Interesting. So on the website, it's $90 for a bare bone, $120, but really it probably always goes for this $100 sale. But then on Amazon, it's $90 plus a 10% coupon. So that's the place to buy it right now. I really do hate when there's some kind of discrepancy between the price on Amazon or a third-party vendor like Walmart or Best Buy and then the manufacturer's landing page, their official website. It should be coordinated always, but it oftentimes isn't. As for battery life, you do have an onboard 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which makes a huge difference how much playtime you get with the RGB on or off. You get 30 hours with the RGB on, which is not great. In fact, that's pretty damn bad for a keyboard, but 200 hours with the RGB off. That is a tremendous difference for having the lights off. Now keep in mind, if you do have it dimmed and on a static or single color, as opposed to an effect that's flowing through multiple colors at full brightness, you can actually squeak out more than 30 hours of battery life. But I would recommend just turning it off to get that 200 hours if you don't really give a shit about the lights. Also, it's worth noting that this has a Bluetooth 5.0 card on board, not a 5.1, 5.2. A Bluetooth 5.0 is completely acceptable in this application. You do also have that 2.4 gigahertz dongle, which is the method I would recommend using or taking if you want to go wireless, as it is going to give you a 1000 hertz polling rate and it is driver free, so plug and play, which Bluetooth also is. You can also go wired, that is also getting you 1000 hertz polling rate and you don't have to worry about battery life. Yunzii makes it pretty easy to find their warranty and return policy pages. They are broken into two separate pages. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to have your refund, return, and warranty and support. We're in warranty and support, which is where you're going to find out that you have 12 months or 1 year of coverage no matter your region. But if you're providing elemental damage to your keyboard, you're casting lightning bolts, fireballs, water blasts, or other events of force of Majeur. What? Manure? Majeur? Never seen that one before. The Mask of Majora. Obviously, any damage that you've caused, you're testing the durability with a machete, or any manufacturing defects, 1 year, except for the battery. If the battery janks up on you, 3 months of coverage with that. As for the pros, cons, and verdict, let's start with the cons, shortcomings, or limitations. The software suite. There's no name as to what it is, and then when I found it on the website, I couldn't actually download it by right-clicking it, running it as administrator. You can't unzip it because it's not a zip file. I do not like that there's a price discrepancy between what's asked on Amazon and the manufacturer's listing on their website. The switch types, it's pretty confusing when you're shopping. What family are they? Are we talking about Gaterons or Kales? It just says some basically what sounds like made-up names or names that are in one specific generic family. For example, milk, caramel latte, cappuccino butt fudge. What? If I can't go to like the Gateron website and look up the pre and post travel and actuation force, that's kind of a problem. Although I will say most people that pick up this keyboard on Amazon aren't the kind of customers that are going to be like, what kind of switch type is in this? Let me get the tech specs. They're just going to be like, ooh, a cute kitty keyboard that feels soft and supple because it's rubber. It feels nice on my hands. It's cute. It's $80. I'll buy it. Along those lines, you can remove the cat head, but it looks really stupid with it off because you have the track and the two holes where the head is supposed to seat. Also, the battery life at 30 hours with the RGB on is pretty damn short, especially for a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, but you can get up to 200 hours with the RGB completely off. Now onto the pros, because there is a ton. The base itself feels nice. The entire thing is coated in rubber. It's heavy. It feels durable. And when you're typing, it feels chunky. You get a little bit of thok out of it. Although, like I rated it, it's like a 6 out of 10 sound wise. It could be a little bit better, but you can see in that parts breakout or diagram, there's a ton of foam layered in there. The keycaps feel and look good. The switches are hot swappable. That's what I have to say positively about those. I do not like the linears that are included, but no big deal because the board supports 3 and 5 pin switches, so you can just swap in your own. I think you get a lot of included accessories for $90 plus that 10% coupon right now. The RGB also looks good as it is south facing and is controllable with 18 modes and multiple colors under each subset. So as for the verdict, do I think this keyboard is worth a pickup? Well, if you want a kitty cat head on the top of your keyboard and you want those adorable keycaps, then from the technical side, this is a keyboard that won't disappoint you. It is hot swappable, so if you don't like the included switches, which can be a little bit confusing as to what family they actually belong to, you can just pop in your own. Same thing with the keycaps. So yes, at the current asking price, especially over there on Amazon, which is cheaper than the manufacturer's site currently, it is absolutely worth it and gets a recommend from me. It's cute, it's adorable, and then also from the technical side of the house, it's got hot swappable switches, south-facing RGB, a software program somewhere floating in the netherworlds, and it is linked in the description below. If there is an exclusive discount for my audience, that'll be right right down there next to the link, and I will see you Stallions and Stallionettes tomorrow. Drop in the comment section below what you're using in the keyboard department. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers, so this information will reach and assist them as well. Much like the back of the TV, I've got plugs for all of my socials down there in the description below. And your wallet will greatly thank you if you check the description, because there are exclusive discounts on a ton of products, including controllers, KontrolFreeks, keyboards, mouse pads, clothes, and energy drinks. And keep in mind that you, the viewer, keep this channel running. The more Stallions and Stallionettes trotting around the stable, the better, so mollywop that subscribe button like it owes you money, and we'll have the same amount of fun tomorrow.